I'm going to display the process whereby PowerPivot imports data and then manipulates and transforms the data, adds it to the data model, and then performs some action such as the creation of a pivot table. I'm opening Microsoft Excel and I'm going to import the data. The example I will use is that of sales. We go to the Data tab or Data ribbon. We click on Get Data. In Excel 2013, this is slightly different. You will have to go to a Query button, which is further along. However, at that point it is the same. From Workbook, and I'm going to browse a particular file called Second Exercise VDAN. The context will be apparent once the file is on the screen. Notice that the Power Query Editor is invoked and a navigator is offered. If we look here at the sales, you will see that there's an agent ID, that would be the sales agent, the region he or she sells in, the income that is generated, a target income which is in fact set for that particular sale, the date of sale, the category of product that is sold, and then the actual item. You will also notice that there is some dirty data here, blank rows, for example. There are some other sheets in this workbook. There's the agent with the agent ID, his or her name, the grading of the agent, and the specialization. Plus, there's a category sheet which indicates foods, mechanics, books and literature, art, DIY, for example, categories of sales. And those two tables are going to be related to this table. These two are irrelevant at this point. So I'm going to go to the sales table. I'm going to click on Transform Data. And I'm going to perform some cleaning up and transformation activities. Notice the little auditor on the right hand side here. I call it an auditor, which in fact traces every step I take. So firstly, let's get rid of these null rows. Remove rows, remove blank rows, problem solved. Secondly, let's add a couple of columns here, which would make it really interesting. Click on Date and add the Year column. It will then separate out the year. I'm going to drag that to the right-hand side of Date of Sale. Once again, I'm going to select Date of Sale. I'm going to go to Date, and I'm going to choose Month. And it's going to add a month column, which is really helpful. This will help me when I do the proper pivot table to indicate a distribution of sales over a timeline. There's no other transformation. Oh yes, let's do this. Okay, so income, I'm going to add a column and multiply by, let's say, value added tax. This will give me a factor whereby I can multiply that particular column. And of course, in our country, it is at 15%. So there it is, multiplication. I'm going to rename that with that. Furthermore, I'm going to change this to a currency data type, as well as these two columns over here, change it to currency type, and you will notice that the currency automatically defaults to 2 decimal places. Good, the transformation has been done. I go home here, close and load to, and it will ask me to a table. I'll add it to the existing worksheet so as to use up the real estate I already have. And I will add this to the data model. That's very important, by the way. Very important. Because that makes relationships and other features possible. So in comes the data. And as the data comes in, there we go. It's got the year column, the month column. A very nice feature is in fact resting on here, and you can see the records as they manifest themselves. They're very interesting there. I'm going to rename the sheet Sales. Good. So much for the transformation of data. In my next video, I will show how we pull in the other 2 tables and we relate those tables to this table by virtue of ID fields. Agent ID, category ID.